We are getting ready to start the disassembly of a 1968 Dodge Dart. This is a very special car, not just because it's 68 Dart. Our A-body fans will love that. But the story behind the car and the uniqueness of the car. So it's important that I do the car and the family justice. So in the winter of 1968, Mr. and Mrs. Stanley walked into Wolfinger Dodge City, the local dealership, and they were looking for a Dodge Dart GTS. So at the time, the things that were really important to her when it came to ordering this car were the color combinations, as well as the 340, the manual 4-speed transmission, and manual steering and manual brakes. So the Dodge Dart convertible was available for several years before 1968. 67 was a very similar looking car. However, in 1967, the shoulder belts were not out. They weren't even offered as an option. So a 67 Dodge Dart convertible wouldn't have had shoulder belts. They were optional in 1968, but so new and so different that it's a strange shoulder belt. It's about 8 feet long. It goes all the way back to the B-pillar and runs across the shoulder down into the lap. And if you look at this thing, it's an enormously long shoulder belt. But for the Department of Transportation, it worked. Additionally, she wanted headrests because she had read that those were available now. This is the introductory year for them. They became mandatory in mid-year 69, but in 1968, if you wanted headrests, you had to order them. Besides all that, her most important thing was it was a blue car. So she ordered it in blue, with blue interior, a black top, and a white bumblebee stripe. When they walked into the showroom, the car they specifically wanted, with the features they specifically wanted, were not available on any of the cars in there. So typically, even today, a car dealership, they have inventory that they just order that they think is going to sell well. That's a car you say is inventoried on the lot or on the showroom. When it's not available in any of those packages, and it's specific like this one where they want shoulder seat belts, specific colors. They want a 340 with a 4-speed manual steering, manual drum brakes. You have to special order it. You sit down with the salesman and you go through that option book and you say, I want this, I don't want that, I do want this, I don't want that. And at the end, all of that adds up to a certain number. You flop your cash down, they order the car for you. And that's what these folks did. They special ordered a 1968 Dodge Dart GTS convertible, 344 speed. And that is what we're getting ready to work on now. Now this is funny. It's Mrs. Stanley that actually drag raced that car. That's right, for many, many years, she was a drag racer in it, which now makes sense why she wanted manual steering and manual brakes. Less weight, go fast, save a little bit of money at the same time. But when we talk about these cars being part of our lives and part of our heritage, I mean, she has race slips from when she used to go drag racing. I have got pictures of that car in the snow up to the windshield. I have pictures of their children sitting in the car. When I talk about the fabric of our lives, these cars being it, that car meant something from the minute they picked it up, the day it was done, until 1982, when the car was sold and disappeared. So when you're talking about 1982, you're talking about the United States was in a recession. Times were tough. They had children, they had family to feed. They needed to sell the car. It's one of the most common stories that you'll hear with people who no longer have their original cars. Life got in the way, and it did for them. So in 1982, they had to sell their beloved possession. So over the next 30 plus years, of course, no more did they get rid of it, and they were missing it, and we're in a position to be able to get it back. But unfortunately, they only saw the car one time in their little town after that, and they looked really avidly for it too. They'd take out classified ads, they'd talk to everybody, if you ever see this Dart, we're looking for it. But unfortunately, it just seemed to have disappeared off the face of the earth. All right, so you fast forward now to 2017. Mr. and Mrs. Stanley's son, Jack, he's driving along on this country road. He looks up, he sees something kind of catches his attention. And he can see that there's just a ton of woods and debris, but there are some cars up in there. And he takes a minute and his eyes have to focus. It's Mom's 1968 Dodge Dart GTS convertible. Right there in the woods with trees down around it, brush all over the place, crushed from the trees, spent decades out there, naked in the elements, is the car. The 68 Dodge Dart that they special ordered from Wolfinger Dodge in 1967. It's unbelievable. Here is the car. That's not even what he went up there for. He just thought maybe he'd find, an old Ford truck or something he could make a buck flipping. And there it was. So once he realizes what this car is, he gets closer, he confirms it, and this is really where the emotions for that family started. He went back and got Mom and Dad, brought them out there, and Mom couldn't believe it. Dad couldn't believe it. First thing she did was ran up to that car and hugged it, which I would do too if I found my old Charger. I know it's an inanimate object, but there's a lot of memories in that car. And they pulled all the trees and the limbs and the brush, and they dug it out and they loaded it on a car trailer. Next thing you know, it's kind of a complete car setting in their driveway. That's when the real story of the Stanley Dodge Dart begins. In 1968, Mr. and Mrs. Stanley walked into their local Dodge dealer and ordered this car. So the reason we are talking about this car right now is we're about to start the restoration. And it's one of the toughest cars we've ever done. It's also one of the rarest. So 1968 was the introductory year for the Scat Pack. That was Dodge's way of saying, we're all in on this horsepower thing. We came up with a cool little group called the Scat Pack, and the Dodge Dart was one of those. This was revolutionary. This was saying, we're all in, our hat's in the ring, we are building muscle cars, and if you're part of the Scat Pack, you're cool because you got a fast car. And so that really resonated with a lot of people, regardless of the number of colors, regardless of if it had power steering, power brakes, whatever it is. The fact that it's a 68 Dodge Dart GTS 340 4-speed make it one of only 44. So let's just talk about how cool the car is on its own merit. So in 1968, the Dodge Dart GTS was standard with the 340 and optional with the 383 big block in an A-body. This is really cool. They actually did it in 67, carried it into 68 when they made the GTS. Now, if you wanted a Hemi in one of those cars, first off, you had to be approved by Chrysler to get one. Chrysler only built 80 of these. They are a factory super stock Dart. We got to go out and put one through the tests at Brett Torino's place down in Las Vegas. He had a 68 real live super stock Dart. These cars had a 426 Hemi with the cross ram dual 4 intake manifold. If you look at the street Hemi, which is what we work on here all the time, the carburetors, one in the front, one in the back. It's called an inline dual 4. To go back to 1965, they had the cross ram race Hemi. They were staggered like this. That complete setup actually went into hibernation until 1968 and brought back out for the 68 Superstock Dart Barracuda. There were no window regulators. They didn't roll up and down. They wanted to save the weight, so they just used a strap in there to hold the window down or to hold it up. Additionally, the hood and the fenders were made of fiberglass. But I got to start with the first thing, which is inventory in the car and its condition and validating it. That's what we're going to do now. So the car's been here for a couple of years. We've inventoried it, filmed it. I've gotten all the backstory and history on it. It's time now to inspect the car, make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. So the very first thing I'll do is clean off the fender tag, take a look at the codes on it, make sure they match what the owner told me this car had. LS27 is the Dodge Dart convertible GTS. 52 is the tire size. 3 represents that it's a 4-speed manual transmission. 207 is the scheduled production date, February 7th, 1968. And this is the shipping order number down here. It's this shipping order number that matches the radiator support, or should, and the trunk lip. It does not match the title or the vehicle identification number. Now, in 1968, they did not put the vehicle identification numbers on the fender tag. They used shipping order numbers. In 69, they used vehicle identification numbers, but in 68 and prior, it's shipping order numbers. So here we have Bravo 8 Lima 164917, 164917. So those match. That radiator support started life with that fender tag, and you can tell that it's all blue. This is all factory blue. All this evidence here, this is good stuff. It all supports it as well. So now we have the fender tag, we have the radiator support, and we have the body colors to match. So that's all good stuff. This decal, if I can get the paint off of it in the key area, which is the left upper corner, will tell me a part number. That part number will coincide with the correct decal for the car. So for example, a 1968 340 would have a certain emission decal on it. I'm looking for that number right now. Beautiful, still in good shape under here. Let me get, right there's the number. Let me clean that off the rest of the way. 2899845. That is the part number for an emission label for a 1968 340 4-barrel engine. So remember, Chrysler put 2 hidden body numbers on most of their cars. On the Dodge Dart, as on most of them except for the E-body, they put the last 8 characters of the shipping order number stamped into the trunk lip underneath here, which is where the weather strip goes. So I gotta clean that off. Looks like they've already sanded on this before, and there it is. Bravo 8164917. So this trunk lip, which is blue, QQ1 blue, which matches the original paint quarters, which matches the original paint firewall, which matches the fender tag and the upper cowl panel and the upper radiator support, all tell me this car is a real live 1968 Dodge Dart GTS 340 4-speed. Now, some of the other cool detailing points that we want to get. Here you can see the remnants of what's left of the bumblebee stripe. You'll see how it's cut down here, right where they cut them at the factory. They didn't let them hang all the way over. If you buy your graphics, like we get ours from Phoenix Graphics, they come a little long. You have to figure out where you're going to cut them. We always try to cut them exactly where the factory did if we have evidence of it. Well, now we have evidence of it. Here you can see the original white stripe. As it fades out, starts to show the original primer underneath it. Little signs of the adhesive still left on there. That bumblebee also started life on this car. So here you can see the entire trunk floor is completely rotted out. Everything. Go over here, there's nothing left. Little piece of the extension right there, holes in the floor, holes in the rear body panel. Up there, the under seat pan that goes all the way under the seat and back to the trunk's completely gone, just rotted out through there. All that's garbage. Trunk lip, the gutter, completely rotted out. If you look around there and all the way over to the other side, it's all rotted out. So that won't be usable, but this piece will be usable. So if we just take this at the spot welds right here, take it loose from the bottom gutter, put a new bottom gutter on this section, we still have a convertible top opening, which they don't make. They don't make the Dutchman panel for a convertible, and they don't make a convertible quarter panel. So in this particular case, we'll save this section and graft it onto the new quarter panels. You look inside the car, it's just a mess. Everything from one end to the other. You start at the under seat pan, the frame rail extension over the inner rocker, rear step wells, the main floor, the tunnel's destroyed, everything is rotten on this car. But this is a key area that we can save, that we have to save. They don't reproduce it. It's unique to a convertible. We have to save this. The tops of these wheelhouses, we have to save them, and they're in good shape. The rear support bar, beautiful shape. All that can be saved, cleaned up, added pieces to it, and put back in the car as we go together with it. So now you have a dash vehicle identification number, which we have, a fender tag. The fender tag matches the DNA that you're looking at on the car. The radiator support matches, the trunk lip matches. We now have a body numbers matching 68 Dart 344 speed convertible. Done, this car will be one of the most stunning little A-bodies at any show on the planet. But it'll also be one of the most heartwarming stories we've ever told at Graveyard Cars. Hello ghouls, Mark Warman here, the Ice Tray from Graveyard Cars. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people. Hey Alice!